I extend a very hearty welcome to Major Muhammad Ali Shah. We've been counting minutes to this interview, as you know, and also to the students and educators who've joined us today from the globe over. I must introduce Veer Marg before I introduce anything else or anybody else because Veer Marg is a very special event that we do almost once a month where we talk about unconventional careers because everybody is talking about law, engineering, medicine, etc. But we want to bring to students what they really want to hear. And it is sad but true that something like acting, something like public speaking, which is so popular today, is being counted in unconventional careers. And that is exactly why we picked this up today. Well, firstly, I must wish you all a very happy Army Day, and especially to the major that we have with us today. And a very quick introduction to a very special guest. Well, the introduction is long. There is so much that I have to tell you about him. He is not just a veteran actor, but also a theater personnel, a wellness coach, a motivational speaker, a storyteller who's conducted numerous training sessions for corporates, for schools, students, etc. He's also a defense expert. You would often see him as a TV panelist on various news channels, debating on very crucial burning topics now and then. Also a very handsome looking young man that you would often see in movies, in TV series, in web series. Recently, he's done Yara and Avrodh, and he's known as Naik Irfan Khan very, very popularly. Also, he comes from the frame of movies like Haider, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, Agent Vinod, worked with people like Priyanka Chopra, and is also a visiting faculty at the Whistling Woods, which is, as you know, a very, very important institute when it comes to students who are aspiring to be actors. He's also a public speaker and a TEDx international speaker with the highest number of TEDx talks in the world. Wow, isn't this so inspiring, students? So you have been writing to us in bulk. You have been telling us now and then that, ma'am, tell us about acting, tell us about modeling, tell us about public speaking. So we thought, why not get you a package deal, one and all, where he can answer all your queries. So we welcome you. Thank you so much, Major Ali, for taking out time for us. This is very, very important for us. This is very special for us as the Career Launcher family to have you spend time with us. We welcome you. We request you to please unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry, Neha. I think I got disconnected. The network played up. The thing is, in this pandemic, we all are coming on the internet at the same time. So I think the internet cannot take the load of so many people together. So I just got logged out for a second and I'm back in. I'm so sorry. Did I miss something?
No, we were just giving an excellent introduction and telling the students that all their questions over these years that they've been asking us about acting, about public speaking, about theater, we thought we'll get them a package deal where we can have somebody like you tell them all about these various careers. I am not sure if I still have you with us, Major Ali, because there certainly seems
I'm
to be
here.
a
I'm
problem
here.
with the network.
Neha,
Okay,
I'm here.
perfect. So with Perfect. Thank you. So, without much ado, I'm going to quickly start with the first question that has come to us. And it's a very crucial question. We are sitting in 2021 where I think we're all glued to Netflix and Prime, and we are looking at modeling and acting and direction and whatnot. We're looking at mass communication as such a promising career opportunity. Yet, I would like to know that, in your opinion, do you feel that acting is still a societal taboo somewhere, even today?
A very good question. I would like to relate this question way back when my uncle, Mr. Nasiruddin Shah, was studying at the National School of Drama, way back in the 70s. At that time, he would travel home and in the train, and as so happened, someone sitting next to you would try to strike up a polite conversation with you. Where are you from? Where are you going? What do you do? So someone asked him, "What do you do?" He said, "I study." Oh, okay, that's very good. You look like to be a good student, but where do you study? Which college? He said, "I study at the National School of Drama." Drama? Is that a subject to study? And that used to be a very common response from his end. And let me tell you, things have changed, but they haven't changed that much. Because even today, when you ask about is acting still a taboo, I would not say, well, things have improved, but certainly parents today are not supportive of the children becoming actors, many of them. And the
Yes.
reason is not because of a taboo, because they know the parents have wisdom. So they know it can be a very hard life, very tough life for an actor. It can be a very bad struggle over there. And that is the reason they would not want their children to go into the creative arts because they know the struggle involved. So they rather want their children to have a cushy, secure job and where he would at least get his monthly salary per month. But let me tell you, nothing is safe, nothing is comfortable. And
Absolutely.
my advice to those parents is that there is no taboo in acting, firstly. Secondly, if you are insecure about your what or your child to enter an insecure profession, where's the guarantee that the company that you are working for will not close down or tomorrow
Absolutely.
you will not lose your job? There's no guarantee to anything. So just do follow your heart, support your children to follow their passion, what they feel like doing. And let me tell you one more thing. If you love doing what you do, and if you make your hobby a profession, you will never have to do a hard day's work for the rest of your life. So my hobby was
Well stated.
theater. My parents were against me becoming an actor, but today my father, who was, and today if you see me, if you go through my Google or if you Wikipedia, you will see the kind of film that I have acted in over a dozen films. But everywhere I've done it with a very different getup, with a very different style, with a
Right.
very different. I mean, you cannot say the same person. I'll give you an example. Like when you're watching Heather, Heather ended up winning 5 national awards. I acted in Heather. I had a decent role in Heather. So when you're watching Heather, when I appeared on screen, there was a scene where I had a full 70 close-up shot. So I asked the person sitting next to me, Who's this gentleman? So he says, I've never seen him, but he's doing good work. I think he's a new actor. So that was a compliment.
Yes.
I was shooting for Yara. Yara released recently on Z5. I am a Sikh gentleman. I grew my hair and my beard for 2.5 years. I lived in the Golden Temple. So I went for my dubbing. The dubbing director thought that probably some other person has come to dub for Jasjeet Singh because now I've gone clean shaven.
Yeah.
So acting is a taboo in the way that parents are concerned that what will become of a child if he becomes an actor or a singer or a dancer
Yeah,
or a
so
chef.
exactly, and I must share with you our experience as career experts when we walk up to schools and do a lot of sessions. I still notice, and I think it's an experience of more than a decade, that when there is an audi full of students, they raise their hands and ask us, ma'am, what about engineering? What about law? What about architecture? But then there's a group which is standing next to the exit, which is waiting for the speaker, the resource person to leave and quietly say, ma'am, can you throw some light upon acting? Students are even scared to ask this question amongst their peer, which is very surprising to me. That leads us to the second question, which you've partially covered. My question was that is acting truly synonymous to struggle, which you're somewhere saying, yes. But I also understand, like you said, that which field or which career does not involve hard work, does not involve patience or struggle. So, students, this is a message from him, very live and clear to each one of you. Struggle should not scare you. Your parents should also be ready for this because, like all other careers, there is a gestation period where you may have to really work hard and then hold your strings in your hand. Would you agree with me there, Ali?
I I totally agree with you. And all that glitters is not gold. So when you see as an actor, it's a very tough life, it's a very hard life. There is a lot of struggle involving an actor. It looks very glamorous, all the glitter you see on silver screen. You see a person being asked for selfies and the shutterbugs chasing him. But that's just one aspect of it. And let me tell you, the maximum struggle has been done by actors.
Yeah,
And acting is a laborious task. It is not a glamorous. I consider acting to be a very non-glamorous profession. A lot of people mistake it to be a very glamorous profession. No, it is not. I'll give you an example. To prepare us for a simple role, like in Tigmanshu Dhulia's film Yara, where there's Vidyut Jamwal, Shruti Hassan, Amit Raj, Vijay Varma, myself, Kenny Vasumatre, Sanjay Mishra. We are the prime cast of Yara. It's there on Z5, or if you Google it. I grew my beard and my hair for 2.5 years. I
just
learned
for
to
the
tie
role.
a half-meter turban myself. I would tie it myself. I quit smoking. I used to be a chain smoker. That's a good thing. That's the best thing that happened actually. I used to be a chain smoker. In a day, I would smoke like 2 or 3 packets in a day.
There are lifestyle
And
changes also that you're telling students that they will have to make. Yes. So Ali, tell us that if there is there an eligibility criteria for becoming an actor? Do you think students need certain degrees, qualifications, courses to do, get into acting, or do you think good looks still somewhere remain the primary criteria for acting?
the good looks, or I don't know what good looks are, but looks certainly do not matter all. At all. Not even 0.1%.
Okay.
It's not the glamour industry. If people are chasing stardom, then even then I would say looks do not matter. I'll give you an example. When I was seeing an interview of Shah Rukh Khan, in fact, I met him when he was shooting for Happy New Year, and he was shooting with my younger brother Vivan, and they were shooting together. He introduced me to him that he's my elder brother. He was in the army earlier.
Okay.
And Shah Rukh said one thing. He said, he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, Ali, I want to join the army. I didn't join the army. No regrets. I have a good life today. But when I was trying to make it, the world told me, a lot of big people told me that you don't have the height to be a hero. You don't have the looks to become a hero. You speak too fast. Your speech is, you go on a Rajdhani Express, you speak so fast. So you'll have to work on your speech, your diction, your clarity. And when people told him this, big people, I should have taken it. Coming from an influential person, a learned person, obviously, he's not a fool who's advising you. You should take it. But see where I am today. I am Shah Rukh Khan. And undoubtedly, he's one of the richest superstars in the world. So if you're chasing, see, he was very clear that he wanted to become a star. Like, I was very clear. I want to become an artist. I want to be an actor. I wanted to act. I wasn't really chasing stardom, or I wasn't banking with a 6 feet 1 inch height that I inherited from my father, or the kind of the way I would look, or my voice, or anything. No, I was banking totally on my talent. And that is why I chose to do theater. In the theater circuit, in the theater world, I managed to establish myself.
Right.
But now you cannot compare the medium of acting in films and theater. They're two totally different mediums.
Right.
A film is screened in a day, 4 times in a day in a multiplex, or it's on OTT. Theater, you can do 2 shows maximum, or 3 shows if you have the stamina and the energy in a day,
right,
housing to at least 500 in the audience. So I'm more of a trained theater actor. Now coming to a degree, coming to eligibility criteria. Now there are 2 things. One is, I've done a course in French, but I did not learn how to speak French. I'm very good in grammar, all right.
Okay.
Other is, I have done no course in French, but I speak the language. I've learned basics, bonjour, comment allez-vous, and now I go to Paris. I land there. I have a certificate, mind you, but I don't speak. What will I do with that certificate? I'll open it. I speak French. I speak French. I speak French. Now I have no certificate, but I can go and find a way about. So today I'm a faculty at Subhash Ghai's Film School, Whistling Woods International. I'm a visiting faculty there, and we train acting students. So one thing I tell them, you have made it till here. That's a very good thing. But the degree will not really open doors for you. Your work will speak for itself. You've got to train yourself on your own. And acting is a craft. Let me tell you honestly, no one can teach you. Being a faculty in this department myself, I'm saying this. No one can teach you. You can learn it. How do you learn it? Through observation, through reading, through life experiences, through practice. Because practice makes a man perfect. So there is no eligibility criteria as such. I think any person, a small child, to an aged great grandparent can become an actor, provided you believe in yourself.
Right, I'm sorry, I'm butting in between, but I have a very sweet comment from a 73-year-old person who's attending you right now, who's listening to us right now, who says that I would love to become an actor at the age of 73. Since you mentioned, I'm butting in quickly, and I just read this on the chat. But sir, we wish you all the best, and we pray that your dreams come true, and we see you someday on television or films wherever you want to be. Ali, but to pick up from where you left, are you also trying to tell our students that getting into theater would be a good idea if they're planning acting? Do you think that could also be a route? Because a lot of students are actively into theater, especially because schools are taking a lot of interest into theater now. There are very strong theater clubs and opportunities that are available. So, would you suggest that they pursue theater very wholeheartedly if they're looking at acting?
Yeah, bang on, absolutely. In fact, take it as a compulsory requirement, take it as mandatory from me that you have to, it's not just a way to go there, it's a way to hone your skills, to learn the craft. And theater, the beauty of theater, I think it's a cure to all ills. You might have any stress, it's a therapy. You might have any problems anywhere. The moment you come for rehearsals, whether you are the PN of a company or a clerk or the CEO of a company, you all are at the same platform. Only your skill, your talent, your work speaks there. You do not get the role based on because you're a CEO, you'll do the lead role, or because you are a PN, so you'll do a small role. No, it is only how good you are at craft and how passionate you are. And I believe an actor should know everyone's lines. I've learned so much by doing theater
Mhm.
that what greatest thing I learned is humility. We first mop the floor, broom the floor, and unless and until you have done hard labor, unless and until आपने कीड़े नहीं ठोकी हैं, paintings नहीं लगाई हैं, set designing नहीं सीखी है, costumes of other actors you haven't ironed and helped the other actors, teamwork. Unless and until you haven't polished others' shoes and given it to them, unless and until you've learned about makeup, you will not know about the craft.
Well
So
said.
it's
Very well
very
said.
important to well. And once you know, automatically, जो आदमी अपना काम जानता है ना, वो जिंदगी में धोखा नहीं खाता. इतना मैं गारंटी दे रहा हूँ. So yes, I would definitely advocate everyone to do theatre. Everyone.
So,
Let me
so
tell you, I
starting
did
with
not
that,
get admission
students
in the
who
National School of Drama. Yes, Neha. Neha, I did not get admission at the National School of Drama after my graduation. I want to study drama. I want to train myself as an actor. Now, not once, but twice in 2001 and 2002. And in the year 2001, Pankaj Tripathi, the great actor, he was with me. We were the same batch, we were trying together. Pankaj got through, I didn't. But we kept in touch. And a year later, when Pankaj had become the second year and I was the first year, he was joking with me, you'll be my junior, come, I'll drag you. and I deprived him the privilege there itself because, again, I didn't get through the NSD twice. But then today I'm a faculty in a very good film school because I trained myself by observing an institution like Mr. Nasiruddin Shah right from my childhood, by
sure.
doing extensive theatre with Dr. Saeed Alam, Tom Altasab. I worked with the best theatre groups in Delhi. I worked with Yatrik, I worked with Apriti Arvind Gaur, with Lucian Dubey. I have done theatre with Lilith Dubey when I was in school. So it is theatre is the way. And let me tell you again, I don't have any formal degree. But I happened to, God was kind or luck or I don't know what, at the Delhi International Film Festival where there were Oscar award winning films which were being screened. There in the year 2015, I won a Best Actor for an English film that I was a lead
Excellent.
in. So it is, so it's like, I think you have to train yourself and give your own self that degree. A lot of people live under the illusion as well that, oh, I am very handsome, become an actor. Don't do that. Don't do that. Every day in Bombay, there are trains, even in the pandemic. Now, there are trains full of people coming to become an actor. And let me tell you, double of those trains also go back every day with
That
disappointments.
opportunity.
So it
I'm
is
going to butt in here and quickly reiterate
a lot
because
of
I have
opportunity.
young students who are also watching us. I mean, the different age groups for the benefit of the students. I'm going to pick up some very, very important points that Major Ali has shared with us. The first thing he says is remember teamwork, getting your hands dirty, soiling them, mopping floors and getting other people's shoes and costumes ready, putting paintings on the walls, getting the set together. He says everything is a part of acting. So anybody who thought it was just glamour that awaits you, get ready for some bit of hard work. Second, that he has said very essentially here is that whether you pick up a formal degree or not, your talent is something that's going to take you places. He's quoting time and again that he may not have got into NSD at that very moment that he wanted to, but he's where he wants to be in his life right now. So it's going to be a lot of hard work and perseverance, your talent in place. Ali, we are getting a lot of questions. One, I'm going to pick up some common ones. A lot of students are throwing this question at us. They want to know that some of them are musicians, some of them are dancers. Will theater help them as well? This is the question that's coming to us from the audience.
Most certainly, yes. For dancers, since you are accustomed to movement, and I think an actor should have good movement,
Yeah.
an actor should have a flexible physique. Flexible means not only in terms of movement only, flexible in terms of today, why have I not done bulked myself up? I've maintained an athletic physique. An actor should have a fit physique, which means I should be able to look weak if I have to. I should be able to look strong if I have to. I should be we should be able to play the role of Mahatma Gandhi or of Tarzan. I'll give you an example of Nazir Saab. Nazir Saab has played Mahatma Gandhi. He has also bulked up for a film called Jalwa. So, what example I was giving you that trains go back as well because they come with wrong intention. They come with only to chase fame, glamour, glitter, money, and people should ask me for selfies and autographs, and I should be a big famous name. No, don't chase that. Be passionate. If you are passionate about your craft, like I don't care whether people recognize me or not. Many actors want to be recognized, yes, but I can name the films. In Agent Vinod, Heather, Yara, Avrodh, which released on Sony Live, you cannot recognize me in any of them. In Tashkent File and Bajrangi Bhaijaan, you cannot say that I was there in those films. Rag Desh, you cannot say that he's the same guy. In Vodka Diaries, I mean, it's total, and because I love the craft, when people say you were there in that film, that is a compliment for me because I am in love with the craft, with the art, with the main crux of acting.
But I'm
So
very
if your
sure, Ali,
intention
after
is
this
right, you know
interview,
what?
we're all going to go back and watch all these films because even if we've missed noticing you somewhere, we have to go back now and, brush this all up. We have another important question since we are talking around theater. Students want to know what, according to you, is the future of theater in India? Do you think it is really budding? It is something they can put their hands in safely and convince their parents that it's going to be a safe trade for them in the coming time?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly about 4 years back. I came up with the concept of doing a play in Mumbai, and I would direct that play. So I would be the lead and the only actor because I did not see one thing I learned from the army, which is when there's no way, create your own way. Like I saw a comment over there, what if there's no option of doing theater in a school? I will answer that. So I did not want to join a theater group, and I said, okay, no theater group was willing to take me as well. I said, let me create my own way. So I prepared for a play, a solo play, for 3.5 hours. I became the producer of it. You don't need money to be a producer. You need passion. You need when there's a will, there's a way. I say when there's a will, there are a lot of ways. So don't give yourself excuses. Just do it, as the Nike logo says. So I said, okay, I'll produce this play. I will direct it, and I'll be the lead and the only actor. So I advertised it aggressively on social media, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, BBM, SMS, email to friends. Randomly, if I would see someone interesting, I would call him. Sir, my play is coming up. Please come and watch on so and so day. On the final day, I booked a theater. I had invested money in that. Can you imagine the kind of overwhelming response? I took out posters. I went on a rainy day in Bombay, went to
Cafe,
Juhu, Prithvi
etc.
Theatre,
Yes.
Sophia, St. Andrews, NPP. Can you imagine the kind of a response I got? I got an overwhelming response of in a 550-seat auditorium. I got a total of 7 people in the audience.
I heard that TED talk of yours. Yes.
Right there. So 7 people came, out of which 2 were my brother and his friend who flew from Delhi. That brother's premiere, let's go and watch. 4 were my school friends, and one person had read the advertisement randomly. He walked in. And my school friends, 4 of them told me, Ali bhai, we have come here to support you. We'll be getting up and going after 20 minutes, so please don't mind. We know it's bad manners to get up and go in between a
In
performance,
between.
but we will still. And I was quite disheartened and I was a little heartbroken. I had invested a lot of emotion, a lot of, I invested a lot in that play, and no one turned up. 7 people, for any party. But then when I started performing, you know what happened? The people who had to get up in 20 minutes, 1.5 hours, no one moved. 2.5 hours, no one moved. 3.5 hours, they got up, all 7 of them, and they gave me a standing ovation. And they said they had never seen anything like this ever in their lives. It's in English, Hindi, Urdu, and in Sanskrit. 4 different languages. It's like a show reel. I show what I'm capable of delivering, my talent over there. Thereafter, the next show was at Prithvi Theatre in Juhu after 10 days. And the hall was booked, everything was done. People told me cancel it, back out from that performance because you will end up spoiling your name. No one's going to land up here for a free show. No one came. This is a ticketed show. You think somebody will come and pay you for that? Forget about it. My wife immediately went on book my show, bought one ticket and says, even if one audience comes for your show, you must perform. And I would be that one audience. So I thought it'd be very romantic performing for her, all right. So I went ahead with it. And you know what happened that day? I got a house full in the audience.
Wonderful.
Not just a house full, but 4 times the amount of people who were outside who couldn't get an entry inside. So I had to do a re-show for them. And that day, and within the 8th month of that day.
So which means somewhere you feel that yes, theater has greatly evolved, is greatly evolving, and people who are looking at theater as a career opportunity, there is a great scope lying ahead. So students are asking us, Major Ali, that in case they don't pick it up as a majors and they do some other subject as a major, but continue with acting or modeling or theater as minor, would that still be all right?
Yes, as long as you keep see, I will explain it to you this way. If you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But keep moving. As long as you are moving, you are moving. You may not move a kilometer forward, but you will move an inch forward.
Right.
You are not stagnant. You're not going behind. You are still moving. So it's perfectly fine. Keep the machinery oiled. If you don't oil the machinery, it'll stop working.
Very well said.
Thanks, Neha. And so it is very important, very, very important to always listen to your heart and do what you want to do. When I didn't get through the National School of Drama, now I thought very intelligently at that time. A wise old man advised me, son, you want to be an actor? Yes. Why don't you manufacture a product which nobody else would be having? Because there are a lot of people who want to become actors.
Right.
Okay, what is that? See, you have a martial tradition in the family to join the army. In countries like Israel, Singapore, Korea, in any case, you have to join the army for a couple of years. Why don't you join the Short Service Commission in the army? Train as a para commando. When you come to Bombay, you'll get paid and trained in, apart from serving the country and all that, you would get paid and trained in martial arts, horse riding and polo, deep water diving, mountain climbing, rock climbing, hang gliding,
yes.
water sports, parasailing, parajumping, paratrooping. You'll be a complete gentleman for life. And when you come to Bombay, there'll be no actor who has actually served in the army and who has come there. And this made a lot of sense to me. 3 years, you're prepared to go to the NSD. You have 5 years. Be patient. Work on yourself. Made a lot of sense. Yes. And that's how I could join the army. And that is how I got a USP that today I'm an army guy. Today, you go and look for an actor who has served in the army, you will not find one.
Right. So basically, I think what he's trying to tell us here, the audience, is that be creative. See what is your USP, what is that you could play with, whether you're asking us questions on dance, I'm seeing your questions of choreography, on music, etc. You're writing a lot of questions to us. So I think you need to find out what your USP is. And as he says, keep crawling. Don't stop. Even if you can't fly, you can't jump, you can't run, you can keep crawling, taking baby steps towards what you really like doing. I'm going to quickly move to the next segment, which is of utmost importance. I know a lot of you are waiting for those questions, which is upon public speaking. And we have the right person, the highest TEDx talks in the world. How can we let him go? So I have a very simple question, but a very strong question, which is, do you think that public speaking is a mandatory skill for this generation? This is a very crucial question this time.
Very good question. In fact, a lot of people call it as soft skills. I call it essential skills. A lot of schools say it extracurricular activities. I would say it's co-curricular activities. Should go simultaneously along with other activities.
Right.
Today, they are children who I will not say train. I will not use the word train. I'll say we work together. We learn from each other. They are participants who are 5-year-olds to 85-year-old great grandparents. I just wound up a session. That's why it took me a minute to quickly put on my camera. And my session starts from 5 in the morning till 11:30 at night. And for me, work is worship. I don't get time to rest. I don't get time to eat my meals properly. I don't get time to sleep. And I always believe, remain, stay hungry, stay foolish. So don't sleep. There's nothing as rest. Forget about rest. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to be restless. You got to be constantly in want of something. That urge, that desire, the hunger should never die. So after I joined the army, I served in JNK and then in Manipur, Nagaland. I went to IIM Calcutta, did my resettlement course from there, my management from there. Worked in the corporate sector. I was very fortunate that, I got a double promotion every year and I became a CEO of a company, very earning in life. But that wasn't really gratifying me. It wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't satisfying me.
That
And
wasn't your calling.
I, yeah, absolutely. I had a small baby at that time who was 6 months old. My son is now 8 years old. And I was like having a 6 month old baby. I said, I have, see, one is never ready in life, guys. Let me tell you all. If you are waiting that, okay, I will wait, you can keep procrastinating all your life. It will
True.
never happen. If
Yeah.
not now, then never. It's like standing on top of a diving board in a swimming pool and waiting to jump inside. And you look down and you get scared. Come to the edge, no, we will fall. Come to the edge, no, we will fall. They came to the edge and they flew. So it's now or never. So just take the plunge. You are never prepared. You would never be ready. You keep thinking, it won't happen. I took the plunge. I went to Mumbai. And thereafter, from there, by virtue of doing theater, my solo performance, I told you, about 3.5 hours. So within the 8th month, I had performed that same play across the length and breadth of the country. I had taken that play abroad. I still remember I was performing this play in Kuwait. And the sheikhs of Kuwait came backstage and told me, we didn't understand what you were doing because we don't speak the language. But by the way you were doing it, we could make out it's something very nice. Keep it up, young man. And that was encouraging.
Yes.
I came back to India and the same play which nobody wanted to watch, people weren't willing to come free of cost, was one ticket was selling for 5,000 rupees. One
Wonderful.
ticket.
Yes.
And I did that journey solely on my shoulders. Then thereafter, Saif Haider Hassan, a very dear friend of mine, he's a very big theatre producer in Mumbai and a director. He approached me and he said, I will be the producer. I will put in money and let's do it up.
Wonderful. So I think coming back to the same thing again and again, what he's trying to say again, time and again, is that you really have to find passion. You really have to be very, very deeply in love with what you're choosing for yourself. And like, if I would quote late Abdul Kalam ji, he said a very beautiful thing: dreams are not what you see when you're asleep. Dreams are what don't let you sleep. So this is the kind of a dream. He's here right in front of you, telling you he can't find time to eat. He does not believe in resting. This is his life that has and this is where it has brought him. This is where his dreams have brought him and make him very happy. There is a repeated question that is coming, Ali, if we can quickly take it in between before I proceed. uh, Students are wanting to know that suppose they do not have a theater club in school or college available, what is the best option that they have? What else can they join?
Read. Reading is to the mind what exercises to the body. And not only read novels, books, read plays, read extensively and perform to your own self. You don't have to have a theater club in your school. Form a team of 2, 3 friends, 4, 5 friends. Form a theater group. It doesn't take much. It doesn't cost a penny. It requires only passion and determination and grit and hard work. That's it. Nothing else. And acting को मैं बहुत ही मजदूरी का काम मानता हूँ, labor का काम मानता हूँ. So if there's no theater group in your school, firstly, put up a proposal to your school principal straight away. Right now, send an email. Don't wait. I'll do it tomorrow. No, send it right now. And like the way I would urge you all to go to YouTube, go to my name, Muhammad Ali Shah. There's a YouTube channel of mine which has got my TEDx talk, as you mentioned. There are 16 TEDx talks over there, and scenes from my films are there. Advertisements that I had done. My TV, like today, I was live on a channel just some time back. That live also would be there. So what you do is write the mail right now. and encourage your school to have a theatre group. If that
Right.
doesn't happen, form your own theatre group and read. Because reading is to the mind what exercises to the body. Firstly, it improves concentration, it improves your imagination, it gives you content to speak, and you can visualize things. And if you can visualize, you can speak well, which means you can express well, and you got to be very expressive as an actor. Because you not only got, if for example, a storyteller, don't be a storyteller, be a story shower. And not just a story shower, make others feel the story. For example, if I tell you all that there is a lemon, I'm going to suck this lemon. Okay. Now, if I tell you all there's a lemon, I am going to suck this lemon. Ah, bitter. Star. So only if you can feel that emotion, will others feel that emotion. If you yourself will not be convinced about it, or if you yourself will not feel that emotion, others, rest assured, will not feel that emotion for sure. I'll give you a small example, And Z5 is this film, Yara, I just released a couple of months back, the Himanshu Dhulia's film. When I was preparing for this film, I grew my hair and my beard for 2.5 years. I told you, I quit smoking. I read the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, completed it, stayed in the Golden Temple for a month. I would sleep on the floor. I would mop the floor, broom the floor, cut the firewood for the cookhouse. I would pick up the gunny bags of rice, dal, atta, sugar, and place them neatly in the cookhouse, in the storeroom. And it was hard labor. And today, and I put on a kada. Today, the best thing I've learned to tie a turban, and I speak Punjabi Neha, you're a Punjabi if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'm embarrassed to say this in front of you. You will catch me straight away. But I had to learn the Punjabi accent, even though it was a Hindi film, I wasn't required to speak in Punjabi, but I had to speak I learned, ah, Punjabi कर ले रही है किताबा नहीं देना कुछ आए वड्या नाल गल करांदी है कल होनी चाहिए है गुरुआ ने मुड़ के नहीं रखता कांजर so I learned that accent. I
Yeah.
mean, even people in cities would not be speaking. Unless and until
Yeah.
I was convinced myself that I am Jasjeet Singh. That doesn't mean I forgot that I'm Awad Ali. I try to get into the character. There's nothing as that. But I try to be truthful to the character. And either a performance is either truthful or it's not. There is no other way. There's nothing as good acting or bad acting. It's either believing in something, or for example, if I'll give you an example. If I have something with me and I keep it over here, I'm looking for it, I'm pretending. Now, if I close my eyes and throw it and go and look, now I look for it, now I will be actually looking for it. So I will not be pretending, I would be doing. So acting means, Stanislavski says, acting means to do. किसी चीज को करना. Abhi, right now, Neha, you are playing. William Shakespeare said in the 7 stages of a man, all the world's a stage, and all the players, merely actors, they have their entrances and exits. So you are playing the role of a wonderful anchor who's doing a brilliant job, and I am playing the role of this person in the Katgara trying to answer questions to the
You're
best of
doing
my
a
ability.
brilliant
I hope.
job as always, and we're not going to take that away from you. Students want to know next that you've reached TEDx. How is it an opportunity for them to knock at such platforms, hop onto such platforms, do such kind of clubs or get into such kind of debating or TEDx kind of platforms? And also want to understand from you, are there certain good books that you would also recommend along with these platforms for them?
Oh yes, oh yes. Read The Power of Positive Thinking. Read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. Read Norman Vincent Peale's books. Read anything that inspires you, anything that you feel, or just keep reading. Lay your hand on whatever you want to read. Read Jonathan Livingstone, Siegel, Richard Bach. Read the paper and read the paper every day. Because I saw some comments that I'm a defense aspirant. See, for that, you got to be well read. You got to be able to speak on anything. Like, for
Yeah,
example, Neha, since you went to education, I would like to recite something for your students and for everyone who's watching. See, this
please.
is a letter which Abraham Lincoln wrote to his son's teacher. And I learned, my father had sent this letter, handwritten, and he told me, give it to your headmaster, which Abraham Lincoln had written to his son's teacher. He wrote, let me see if I can still remember it. He wrote, my son starts school today. It is all going to be strange and new to him for a while, and I wish you would treat him gently. It's an adventure that might take him across continents. All adventures that probably include wars, tragedy, and sorrow. So,
Right.
dear teacher, will you please take him by the hand and teach him things he will have to know? Teaching him, but gently if you can. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that all men are not just, all men are not true. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero. For every crooked politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him that 10 cents earned is of far more value than a dollar found. In school, teacher, it is far more honorable to fail than to cheat. Teach him how to gracefully lose and enjoy winning when he does win. Teach him to be gentle with people, tough with tough people. Steer him away from envy if you can, and teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Teach him how to laugh when he's sad. Teach him there's no shame in tears. Teach him there can be glory in failure and despair in success. Teach him to scoff at cynics. Teach him the wonder of books, but also give him quiet time to ponder about the extreme mysteries of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and flowers on a green hill. Teach him to listen to everyone, but teach him also to filter all that he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. Teach him to sell his talents and brains to the highest bidder, but never to put a price tag on his heart and soul. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him to have sublime faith in himself, because only then he will always have sublime faith in mankind, in God. This is in order, teacher, but see what best you can do. He is such a nice little boy, and
One
he is my star.
Wonderful. And I hope students that you have, or the ones who are attending, I hope you have not missed the inflection in the voice modulation while he was narrating, what makes him a special, an extraordinary public speaker. I think we've just heard him recite that in several dialogues, and this poem that he has read out to all of us. Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking that extra pain. And the students, if
Oh, it's
you
a
missed
pleasure.
the names of the books, I think he has already mentioned them to us. I'll again quickly pick up the question that we've left here. How do students get to platforms like TEDx? If you could throw some light.
Super,
Yeah.
super. So I will tell you, firstly, how it will benefit you. I'll come to that, and then I'll answer how do you get there. See, TEDx YouTube channel has got over 22 million subscribers internationally, globally. One of the largest YouTube channel actually. So who would not want that visibility? And in 2019, when I got my first TEDx invitation, I got the mail. I ignored it. I thought, it's a spam mail. I never thought that I could go on TEDx, because it was like, as far when we see astronauts going to the space in their astronaut suits, we don't imagine that we will be an astronaut one day unless we really want to be an astronaut, right? I didn't want to be a TEDx speaker. I never dreamt of it. I never aspired for it. I was only doing my work honestly. I never aspired. I told you, I didn't look for recognition, fame, money. Whatever followed my way is a bonus. I
Right.
was only following my passion, and I was following my craft. I was trying to hone my skills, sharpen the saw. And I happen to get lucky when a person says that. How is that? How does luck happen? It happens when opportunity meets preparation. You get lucky. If the
Very well said.
opportunity,
Opportunity meets preparation is when you get lucky. Great. I'm going to reiterate. Yes. Thank you.
everyone, yeah, thanks. So if you like, I'll give you an example. Last year, I was giving a TEDx talk in Sydenham's College, Mumbai, and there was a naval officer with us, a lady officer, an ex-naval officer, who was also Mrs. India Universe, and who had just come to witness my talk, an acquaintance. In fact, incidentally, first time I was meeting her, and one of the speakers did not land up for the event. So some last minute emergency. So here we had a ready candidate who had served the country in the forge, Mrs. India Universe. I was like, okay, ma'am, the vacancy open. You start writing a script, I'm writing it. You won't get time for this. And as a result, she wasn't prepared. So she lost out on that opportunity. Imagine, had she been prepared, she got the opportunity, she would have been a direct speaker today. Anyhow, I will tell you my journey about from my first TEDx to becoming an international TEDx speaker to having given the highest number of TEDx talks ever in the history of TEDx in the world. So when I
I'm
got
sorry,
my
Vishal, I'm
first
going to
TEDx
cut you
invitation,
for a second. There seems to be some huge issue with the internet. I don't know if you can log in to some other Wi-Fi device quickly close by. We're losing you in between when you speak for the last about 2 minutes.
uh,
And it says a bandwidth,
if I log into,
or maybe if there's some other
is
devices that
there
can be
a
pulled off the
bandwidth
Wi-Fi quickly.
issue? If I log into another device, it will take me 5 minutes. Like on the
Okay,
second
please
floor,
go
I have
ahead.
to go
I think
down
we've got
where
you
my
back.
laptop
We've,
is. And
we've got you back. Please continue. We can hear you now.
super, super, super. I am so glad. I'm so glad. So
Yeah.
when I got my first invitation, I saw the mail. I said, "Oh, some spam mail which has come." Yeah, I didn't pay any. And after 2 days, I thought it's my moral responsibility to at least write back. Even though it's a spam, I should write back saying, I'm definitely not the Muhammad Ali Shah you're looking for. I am some other Muhammad Ali Shah. You reached out to a wrong person. I mean, I thought, let me just do that. That those officer-like qualities never go, having served in the army. So I wrote back to them. Within 5 minutes, they had my phone number. They called up. No, sir, it is you we are looking for. Please come. I'm not much of a speaker. I don't know. I had not started appearing on television panels. I had not given my first TEDx talk. I had not even given a single motivation talk. I'm talking about 2019, January. And why me? We want you, sir. Okay, they persuaded me to come to Amritsar at Mount Little School, very good school, very fine institution, to give my first TEDx talk. And my dear friend over there, Puri Saab's wife, Nanta Puri and Ishan Puri, they're like family to us, very close family friends. And so I asked them, so Nanta Puri also and we both gave a TEDx talk at Amritsar that time. She had already given a TEDx talk at some other university there. Now, in that 18 minutes, Neha, I ended up receiving 3 standing ovations during the talk. The talk had not ended. Something I said connected with the audience, and I got a very good response. So now I believe whether the audience is one or the audience is over a million, there's one common thing which every listener, every audience is looking for in an actor, in a speaker, in anyone. And that one thing is a connection.
Connect.
You
That's
connect with them,
nailed it. Yes.
they're yours.
Yes.
Totally. So one doesn't have to shout and scream and be energetic. No, just connect with them. And just, invoking the imagination of the listener. And I transport those people to the world that I was referring to. And then through word of mouth, a week later from TEDx in a college, CMRTC in Hyderabad, then TEDx NIT in Raipur, and then it went on. Then there came a stage in India where there was not a single TEDx event happening in a country, not a single TEDx event, which had got a license, and they had not sent me an invitation email that, sir, please come and speak on a TEDx platform. I was like, wow. And then other countries, foreign countries started inviting me over. That's what I'm saying. TEDx gives you that visibility.
Right.
It gives you today, if you want, for people who want to become actors, why? Because they want to be rich and famous, or they wanted fame. Well, as I told you earlier, wrong intention, but there's no harm in it. There's no harm. आपको actor बनना है, but कौन बन रहा है actor? ना नहीं. The only thing that is stopping you from reaching where you want to go is you, your own self. And the second thing is getting started.
Yeah.
Once you start, you will definitely reach your destination. You might go slow, but you will reach. But don't ever quit. Keep doing it. Like, I'll recite something else. One more thing to you. For this pandemic, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you are trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care's pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. See, life is square with its twists and turns, and all of us sometimes learn. And when a person turns about, he might have won, and he stuck it out. Often the goal is further for a faint and faltering man. Often a struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's car. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. And you never can tell how close you are. It might be near, when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse. No, you must not quit. So keep at it. You will do it. And we are nothing but a mere reflection of our thoughts. We are what we think we are. There's a photograph of a cat looking into a mirror. And what does this cat see? It sees a lion. Only if we love ourselves, if we respect ourselves, we value ourselves, will others value us, love us, respect us. When we do not love our own selves, how do we expect anybody else to love us?
Exactly.
So if you think you're beaten, you are. Huh? If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win, but think you cannot, there's almost a kinch you won't. If you think you outclass, you are. You got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. Out in the world, we find success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of mind. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or later, the person who wins
Is the one who thinks he can.
is the one who thinks he can. So if you
Wonderful.
think you can do
I
it,
think,
you
we were going to
will do it.
the last bit that I was going to say was, what is your message to the listeners? I think we've already got that message brilliantly. We've not just covered acting, we've not
But
just
then
covered.
I'll give you another message. Then I will give you another message, which is actually my Bible. And that message has kept me in good stead in anything I do, really. And I assure you, it will help you in good stead in everyone. And that is a poem by Rudyard Kipling. If.
Yes.
Can you? All right. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for the doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dream your pastor, if you can think and thought your game, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, most to possess the knaves to make a trap of fools, or wash the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with one or tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose. And start again at your beginnings and never breathe about loss. If you got the nerve and snooze of your turn long after they are gone. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither loving friends or foes can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you will be a man, my son. So this is my message to all our students over here.
Wonderful.
There are more messages if you'd like to hear. I could say this.
Our network was slightly more supportive because we last couple of minutes we lost you a lot of times, but I hope that everybody has been able to get the essence of what he's really working hard to push across. So there you see the motivational speaker in action. He's not just telling us what we want to know, but motivating all of you to pursue your dreams, your passion wholeheartedly, not to give it up. And yes, if we talk about struggle, he has mentioned this before, there is struggle everywhere. As long as you're ready for it, go for it. Be passionate, dream your dreams, eat your dreams, sleep your dreams, breathe your dreams, and get ready for them. In case you're looking for career guidance, because a lot of you are asking us courses, colleges, etc., that's what Career Launcher is for. You could always write to us. There is a Google form that we're also going to circulate. We'd love to hear your feedback and what you would want us to get for you in future. Which career would you like us to talk about? So please do take a minute to fill up those forms. I would request Major Ali to quickly look at the chat because a lot of endearing messages have popped up for you. People have very nice things to say for you. So if you could quickly take a look while I say my goodbyes. And for those, if we've missed your questions, we've not been able to answer them, you could please go ahead and write to us. We'll try and answer them back in person. Before I say goodbye, just one last question I'll take up because we are almost there. Um, Ali, they want to know what about modeling? How can they take up modeling as a career? And are there platforms? I am afraid I think we've lost Ali. He's logged out right in time. So I'm sorry we will not be able to take that question. But thank you everybody for being an excellent audience. There are so many messages that have come from all of you, so many interactions that have happened over this episode. It is heartwarming for us. Please do tell us who would you like us to bring to you next time? Which career do we explore that's unconventional? Do tell us that you enjoyed this interview. And now that he's left, and whenever I speak to him, I will pass on your thank yous and your well wishes to him. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. I wish you good luck for your careers ahead and hope to see you soon with the next edition of Veer Marg shortly. Good luck, God bless, and stay safe. Thank you, everyone.